Some military families say their private base housing, again, private base housing done by contractors, is full of lead and mold and rats and roaches. That's according to a survey from the nonprofit Military Family Advisory Network. I want to show you some photos. These are from a family in Maryland who participated in that survey. They say a rainstorm caused the flooding, and that exposed lead paint, and the lead paint made them all sick. We've reached out to the housing company Correspondent, I should say, and a spokesman tells us providing housing for our armed service members is a privilege, and Correspondent is making changes necessary to meet the gold standard level of service both we and our residents expect. Well, the point is, from the families, they haven't gotten gold level. Some military families are testifying about their experiences today at a hearing on Capitol Hill that's ongoing, and Jennifer Griffin's monitoring it for us. She's at the Pentagon. Jen?
Shep, the testimonies we've heard today are heartbreaking in terms of the impact on the health of the families and children of the nation's 1.2 million service members and represents a major readiness issue. These photos are from inside some of the affected homes on MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida, and Laughlin Air Force Base in Texas. 3 of the thousands or so military families who have complained about poor housing conditions testified before the Senate Armed Forces Subcommittee moments ago. They blame birth defects and disease on the slum-like conditions.
I have felt the helplessness of a fellow Marine Corps spouse as she held her new baby and sobbed while we stood under a collapsing, moldy ceiling in her home at Camp Lejeune. I listened in horror as families at Camp Pendleton told of mice eating through pacifiers in their babies' cribs and electrical outlets catching fire due to wiring issues.
Constant sore throats, nosebleeds, brain fog, blurred vision, numbness, fatigue, debilitating headaches. Even the 4-year-olds complain daily of these headaches along with dizziness. Knowing headaches are not normal for a child of that age, I was concerned they may have cancer.
The Military and Family Advisory Network ran an online survey last month that received 16,000 responses from military families across the country, finding that 56% of those surveyed found living conditions in base housing was negative or very negative, with 6 base housing contractors mentioned over and over by respondents to the online survey: Lincoln, Balfour Beatty, Hunt, Corvius, Wynn, and Michaels Military Housing. We've reached out to those contractors. Some of them are testifying right now before the Senate committee. All of them responded and vowed to address the problems, but senators looked shocked as they looked on today and heard these women's testimony, Shep.
Wow. Jennifer, the housing system, tell us how that's set up.
Well, in 1996, conditions on U.S. military bases were so bad that the military privatized 99% of the base housing for active duty troops. Contractors moved in. It seemed like a good deal for the government. The Pentagon issued the following response, quote, "Each military department has processes in place to resolve tenant issues with privatized landlords, starting with contacting the private partner and installation housing office. If that does not resolve the issue, the resident can approach the installation commander and/or the local inspector general to file their complaint." All 3 of the military spouses we heard from in testimony today said the chain of command in the military had failed them. It was only after a Reuters news agency published an expose that they were finally heard.